What's going on, everyone? Kevin here from Channel Mana Leak. I am bringing an 8-4 draft. I'm actually putting this video at the front of that one, so editing. But I decided to create a Twitter account. Why not? I don't know if anyone has any interest in what I have to say. Most of the stuff I post on there probably won't be Magic related, but I'll probably put on there when I put up videos and things. So if you're any interest in that whatsoever, it's at Channel Mana Leak. So that should be pretty easy to find. I think I'm pretty new to Twitter, like brand new. So yeah, I probably will be Twitter retarded for a while. But we'll see if anyone has any interest in my tweets. I'll probably post, normal tweety type stuff. Some Magic, some not. But check it out if you're interested. And everyone subscribe to the channel on YouTube. I'll keep bringing videos, and you can keep watching them. Alright, cool. Thanks. What is going on, everyone? Kevin here for Channel Mana Leak, where the magic happens. Bringing you another 8-4 Theros Block Draft. Here we opened a Dictate of the Twin Gods. That's not a good card. This pack is interesting. Nothing super exciting. I don't love the Riptide Chimera. It's pretty cool if you can get a ton of enchantments and things, but I don't really want to draft around a Riptide Chimera, so I'm not going to. I think the cards in here that I'm most interested in are the Fellhide Petrifier or the Warwing Siren. I do think blue's pretty underdrafted in the new set. Blue-white was considered probably the best color combination back when Heroic was really good. It's not as good now, but you can still build a pretty aggro type deck, but there's a lot of blue cards are still pretty good mid-rangey, and Warwing Siren, while Heroic, doesn't require a ton of Heroic cards to be good. It's definitely between the Petrifier and the Warwing Siren. I think since I've seen blue be open so much, I'm just going to jump into blue and see if I can reap some rewards from that. I, of course, am instantly punished, as I could have went straight into Gnarled Scarhide from the sweet 2/3 Death Touch Minotaur guy. Temple of Epiphany, I'll see what that's worth. I do think it's important to know a couple tickets, maybe. Alright, not enough that I have to rare draft it, but it is important to know what kind of value you're passing, since, we're drafting for fun and to try to win, and I'm not doing a Pro Tour, so I just want to draft a lot, win a lot, and if you can pick up value, pick up value. Not 2 tickets, though. I'm not that worried about that. I do like the Scarhide. I do like the Oakheart Dryads. Pin to the Earth is pretty good, but I don't think it's quite on par with those other cards, so I'm willing to pass it here. Now I wish I would have taken that 2/3 Death Toucher. If we can stay blue, I do like both blue-green and blue-black is pretty reasonable, too. Let's see. I think black tends to be more open than green, so I'm going to take the black card. Obviously, that is a generalization. There could be a draft where green is very open, but this is my 9th draft that I've recorded, and everyone's figured out green's pretty good. It seems to me like green is overdrafted now, which makes it much less good. Here I'm going to pick up... it's either Cloak Siren or Pin to the Earth. Pin to the Earth is pretty good. But I do like Cloak Siren. And Pin to the Earth is good, but I want to pick up some creature threats, and I like Cloak Siren quite a bit, so I'm going to take that. Okay, so there's another Grim Guardian. We could have had a couple of those. I'm just going to pick up Spiteful Blow. It's expensive, but it gets its guy most of the time. If it wasn't for that card, I would probably take either the Grim Guardian or the Aerial Formation, and probably Grim Guardian. Aerial Formation's good, but better in a blue-green type deck. Could take that and stay more open, and this doesn't go particularly well with Gnarled Scarhide since it's not an aggro-y kind of card, but neither is Grim Guardian. It's a pretty close call, I think, between Grim Guardian and Spiteful Blow, but I don't really want to be quite as grindy as Grim Guardian, so we'll see what happens, but for now, we'll pass on that. So there are lots of green cards, but they're not very good ones. I still think the best cards are in black, both Cast into Darkness and Squelching Leeches. Cast into Darkness is good if you're going to be very aggressive. I don't know that we're going to be that aggressive. Plus, if we are blue-black, a lot of our creatures are going to have evasion and flying and stuff anyway, probably. I'm going to take Squelching Leeches. If we end up heavy black, it's really, really good, and it's never really that bad. At worst, it's a 4-mana 3/3 usually, and it's usually better than that, unless you're just splashing black. So I'll pick it for upside here. Alright, so there's nothing too great in blue or black here. I don't love the Crystalline Nautilus, although you can put it on their creatures to make them sacrifice it. I could go with basically Fawn of Fortune is a pretty bad divination. Dreadbringer Lampads are okay. Supply Line Cranes is the best card in my opinion. I know a lot of people were very up on it before the set came out, and then they've kind of soured on it a little bit, but it's always been good for me. I'd be happy to play Supply Line Cranes. It is the best card by quite a bit. I could take it and not miss out too much on Crystalline Nautilus or Fawn of Fortunes, but I'll try Crystalline Nautilus. I've not played with it a ton. Nothing too great in this pack. The Iconoclast is probably the best card, but I've never seen it actually be that amazing. It seems like it should be pretty good, but I've never seen it be that good, and once it's out, you can kind of play around it a bit. Obstinacy is fine. Here I'm going to take Aspect of Gorgon. I actually don't mind this card, especially in a slower, grindy kind of game. The +3 toughness with Death Touch is a lot better than like +3/+1 Death Touch. It makes you stick around a lot longer. I don't mind playing that. Other than that, I'd probably take Rotted Hulk, but I'm fine with Aspect of Gorgon. Alright, these are basically the same cards in the earlier pack we saw. Aerial Formation, Rise of Eagles. I don't care about these two cards. I will take Aerial Formation, even though it's not as good in blue-black, probably. I still don't love Rise of Eagles, so... Alright, well, we got a Crystalline Nautilus deck, I guess. It's the only card in here that I would even consider playing. I don't want to play Counterman, so... we can play a couple Crystalline Nautilus if we so choose. I don't think I want to play Pull from the Deep. I guess you can get some value out of it if you have a ton of instants and sorceries. We've got one of each. That's not too amazing. Don't really like God Hunter Octopus. I guess I'll just take the Rotted Hulk here. None of these are that good. I've said before, I do like Humbler Immortals better than most people, and it's okay in the right deck, but we really didn't see any good green, so I'm okay with passing that. I kind of wish... I mean, I like Warwing Siren, so I'm not sad that we don't have the 2/3 Death Touch guy, but I do like it. I'll take another Aerial Formation here. Those cards are... neither one of them are particularly good in my opinion. To take a Font of Return, almost certainly won't play that, but there it is. That was an okay pack. We don't have anything too crazy, but... and these are alright, I guess. They're worse in a set like this, where there's so many targeting effects, because pretty much every deck has a way to target something. Forge Soaker Dragon. Yeah... can't play a Forge Soaker Dragon. There are some good choices for us here, and I'll probably take Siren of the Silent Song, although you could gamble and take the Nyxborn Triton and hope that the Siren of the Silent Song wheels. That's not completely unreasonable. There's also Shrike Harpy and Sudden Storm. I'd be happy to play any of those cards. Let's see, Divination's okay, so someone's going to take Forge Soaker. Then most of the other cards that are good are in our colors. It's really whether you just take the Nyxborn Triton and hope the Silent Song wheels. It's not unreasonable, probably. Nyxborn Triton is pretty good, so Shrike Harpy. This is a pretty tough call. I'd probably take the Triton over the Shrike Harpy. I don't know that the Silent Song wheels, though, is the problem. In fact, I don't think it does. So I think I'm just going to take it. Yeah. Ifara, huh? What is Ifara worth? One or so? Not a lot. Ifara is not worth a lot of money. Maybe 1 to 2. Alright, anyways. There's a Fall of the Hammer, obviously very good. We're not going to be playing Ifara at this point. It's probably between Servant of Timuret and Deepwater Hypnotist, and we're not super aggressive, so I'm just going to pick up the Servant of Timuret here. Alright, some more interesting choices. The Eternity Snare is pretty expensive. I'm not crazy about that card. Ashiok's Adept I'm also not super high on. I don't like Weight of the Underworld, so really it's between Sudden Storm and Oracle's Insight, and Oracle's Insight, if you can keep your creature around, is just nuts, so that's what we're going to go with and hope that it does some good stuff for us. Lots of Weight of the Underworld, Grizzly Transformation, War Chanters of Mogies going around. Flitterstep Eidolon. It's probably between Flitterstep Eidolon and Crypsis here. Most of our creatures have evasion, so Flitterstep Eidolon isn't that great, really. You can put on a Squelching Leeches or something. Does it have more upside than Crypsis? That I don't know. It's important to note that you can't target your Crystalline Nautilus with anything, so that makes any of these things much worse. I guess I'll take the Flitterstep Eidolon. We're kind of low on creatures. Whether that necessarily means anything. Oh geez, here's some good red cards. We've got a lot of 4-drops. Don't really love the Forsaken Drifter. So here is really a Fellhide Brawler, which is probably never going to block, or a Divination in a deck that's becoming more mid-rangey by the pick, really. A Crowan Conscriptor is sick, and Kragma Butcher is pretty good. But I'm going to take the Divination. Alright, here's some cards. Again, these 3 cards are in every pack. Too bad they're not, good cards. Between Vortex Elemental and Archetype Imagination, again, most of my cards are probably going to be flying. Well, many of them. So I think I'm okay passing the Archetype. It's pretty good, though, but I'm going to take the Vortex Elemental. Here I will just pick up a Nullify. Here, I guess between picking up an Eye Gouge, which I'll almost never play, or just pulling out like a Fearsome Temper. I guess I'll take Eye Gouge. I mean, it'll never main deck. It'll sideboard, though. Another Divination, or a Weight of the Underworld, which is kind of bad removal. Or give a creature Intimidate. Well, none of those things are too amazing. This is better in a heroic-y kind of deck, but it doesn't look like we're going to be doing a whole lot of that. And again, if we end up playing Crystalline Nautilus, we don't really have much going on. I'm going to pick up a second Divination. We have nothing to draw into, really, but I'll pick up a Drifters here. I don't want to play that many 6-drops, and I kind of consider a Flitterstep Eidolon a 6-drop, so I don't really care about Eternity Snare. I'll just take the not good removal. Well, we should have enough playables. I'll just take this in case I need to play it in my sideboard. I don't like War Chanter, so I guess if I have to play a couple Forsaken Drifters, I can. I don't want to. I don't really want to play Flitterstep Eidolon either. It's pretty terrible in this deck. I don't remember what I took it over. Nothing good, I don't think. Maybe Divination, which we got 2 of anyway. I can't really remember. But Flitterstep Eidolon looks pretty terrible in this deck. This deck in general doesn't look super good. And when I say that, I mean it looks pretty bad so far. I don't really know what we want, but I know what we don't want as Reverent Hunter. So we open nothing in blue or black. In fact, there's not a single black card in this pack, except for Kragma Warcaller, and we didn't get any of the good blue or black cards back when we did take the Siren of the Silent Song, so make of that what you will. But here we go play a Dissolve. I guess Fate Foretold's okay. Mnemonic Wall, jeez, I really don't want to first pick any of these cards, but I guess I gotta take something. I wonder if I could just invoke the pass and take 2 cards out of the next pack choice. Probably not. I'll just take Fate Foretold, in that it might actually play it. Mnemonic Wall, I mean, could get back a Spiteful Blow, Divination, Aerial Formation. I don't know, maybe that's worth taking here. I don't really want to play it, so. Alright, there's a Shipwreck Singer and a Grey Merchant, so if we would have been able to take 2 out of this pack, we'd be much better off. I'd happily snap off Shipwreck Singer, Prescient Chimera, Grey Merchant, even Wave Crash Titan. So there's a ton of cards in this pack. Question is whether a blue-black card will return Gray Merchant's always pretty good. So Shipwreck Singer, though. Ooh, that's a tough call, I think. We're not playing that many black cards, so maybe Gray Merchant's just not as good here. So I guess I'm talking myself into Shipwreck Singer. This will never wheel. Shipwreck Singer could maybe wheel, but I think we've become a little bit more control-y, mid-range control-y, so I mean, because I probably won't play Forsaken Drifters. I guess black, we don't have a lot of great black cards, so I guess I don't want the Gray Merchant, which is a bummer, although it does work well with like lots of black Squelching Leeches type of stuff going on. Tough call. It's whether Shipwreck Singer or Wheel, and I think maybe it's just better for this deck. I don't think it'll wheel. There's an Agent of Fates. I will take that. We're not super heroic, but we do have a couple aerial formations. We do have Fate Foretold. We have some Aspect of Gorgons. Gorgons. Griptide's awesome. I'm super happy to pick up Griptide, but we have a Spiteful Blow. We have a couple removals. We've got not a ton, but Agent of Fate's too good. Alright, there's a Sip, which is Spiteful Blow without destroying a land and dealing 2 damage. It's possibly better. I'm just going to take Ordeal of Erebos here. It's obviously not as good in a deck that's not that aggressive, but sometimes you can just peel off wins with that, or that on like Shipwreck Singer or one of your little flyers, and it'll get the job done. Boon of Erebos is pretty good too, and that might even be the better choice. I don't really want to play 2 type of Sips. If it comes later, I will, but for now, I'll just take the Ordeal. Wow, there's a Gray Merchant, so that one we will happily snap off. So no one to our right, it must be super black, or they probably would have taken that. Pretty happy with Blood Toll Harpy. I'd play probably either of these cards, because I don't really want to play like Forsaken Drifters. I'd rather not play Weight of the Underworld, but maybe I will. Probably not going to play these Crystalline Nautilus, but we'll see. But I think Blood Toll Harpy's fine. Probably don't need Aqueous Form. We've got lots of guys that are unblockable. Okay, well maybe blue and black are open. Maybe the Shipwreck Singer would have wheeled. I'm not sure. That's a very late Thassa's Emissary. I like Vaporkin, but Thassa's Emissary is the bomb. So here's whether we want to play Stymied Hopes, Scourge Mark, or a Gainsay for the sideboard. Let's see. We're probably going to play these cards. Maybe not Aerial Formation. Maybe one of them. I probably won't even play Flitterstep Eidolon. That probably was a bad pick. Those are all pretty good. Maybe not Weight of the Underworld. So we actually have a deck. We don't have a ton of creatures. Scourge Mark. I probably don't need Scourge Mark. We'll just take Gainsay here. There's the pack we opened. There are still no black cards. I guess the worst card for us is Cavalry Pegasus, probably. So there's a Gainsay for the sideboard. There's a 2/2 for 2. That's fine. There's a Hippocamp. That's also fine. Okay, so this didn't go super amazing, but we got a deck. Agent of Fates is good. I'll piece this together and see exactly how I want it to go, and I'll let you know in a moment. Alrighty, this is the way I've put it together. Running most of the creatures, 14. Playing Eroded Hulk because I think the plan is to win in the air unless Agent of Fates goes off, which I don't know that you can really count on. So I figured the 2/5 here is much better than like a 4/2 or like a War Chanter or a Sphinx's Disciple, and better than a Crystalline Nautilus, because while 4/4 for 3 is pretty awesome, we have kind of a lot of targeting effects, and I just don't think you can really count on this guy to be a great defender, because as soon as they target him, he dies, even if it's with something silly. So my last pick was between Nullify and Weight of the Underworld, and I decided to run Nullify first. I've actually been pretty happy with Nullify. I don't love Weight of the Underworld, so we'll try it this way. I'm not running a Flitterstep Eidolon, because even though there are times when it would be great with like Agent of Fates or Squelching Leeches or Thassa's Emissary, actually I guess maybe it would be fine. Most of the time it's just a 2 mana 1/1 until you get to 6, which really kicks your curve up a lot. I don't really think it's that amazing in this deck. If we get that late of a game, I don't think that's what we really want to be doing, because none of our creatures are probably super great. Again, probably better in a blue-green. Same thing with aerial formation. Most of our creatures are already flying. It's not great as a +1/+1 trick. We're hoping to not need it. If we need it, we're probably going to lose anyway. I don't think this deck came together super great. I was hoping to see more good stuff. But, last pack we saw some pretty late blue and black cards, so I'm not really sure what happened. Didn't gamble on either of the 2 gold cards, but that's because they're both pretty good, and I didn't really want to pass them up. I needed the power in the deck. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to round 1 and see how it goes.